Hello, this is Mr. Yoon, and in today's lesson, we are going to be learning about how to come up with the equation in the slope-intercept form when we're given 2 points. So just a reminder that a slope-intercept form looks like y is equal to mx plus b. So this over here is the slope-intercept form. And naturally, it has 2 parts to it, which tells me the slope, which is represented with the variable m, and the y-intercept, which is represented by the variable b. And just a reminder that the slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is just a very fancy way of saying change of y divided by change of x, or rise over run, as you already know. Okay, so naturally, if you're given 2 points and if you want to find an equation that would go across those 2 lines, we would have to find and to put it into a slope-intercept form, we need to find 2 things: the slope and the y-intercept, because that's the only 2 parts that are in the slope-intercept form. So we're going to start most of the questions by finding the slope of the equation. So let's look at an example. Over here, it says determine the equation of the line through the points 1, 3, and 4, 9. So to give you a little bit of an image of it, so what it's asking for is it's asking you to come up with an equation. So let's say if you had a grid that looked like this, it's asking, okay, the point 1 and 3 would be somewhere here, and the point 4 and 9 would be somewhere here, and then it's asking you to come up with an equation where an equation of a line that would go through those 2 points. And to do that, again, we're going to use the slope-intercept form, and to do that, we are going to find the slope and the y-intercept. And first thing is we have to find the slope. Okay, so now we have an image of it, and we know that the slope is rise over run, or change of y divided by change of x, or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Whichever is more easier for you, you can use any of those. So personally, I just like to think about it as change of y divided by change of x. And we actually graphed it over here very quickly. Then we could actually just use rise over run as well, whichever is the easiest for you. Then what are we gonna do? I'm just gonna simply calculate the rise and the run. So how much is it rising? So it's rising by 6 over here. From 3 to 9, that's going up by 6. From 1 to 4, it's going to the right by 3. So then my rise is equal to 6 and my run is equal to 3. So what am I gonna do? Or we can write it as, okay, my second point, I can calculate the rise by doing my highest point is at 9, my second point, the y coordinate of my second point is 9, and my y coordinate of my first point is 3, so I'm gonna do 9 minus 3, and then the x coordinate of my second point is 4, and I'm going to subtract the x coordinate of the first point, which is 1. So this is the x2 and x1. And then if I do that, that is 6 over 3. And I just have to simplify this result by doing bad maths. And then, so I did 9 minus 3, which was 6, 4 minus 1, which is 3. And I know that 6 over 3 just simply means 6 divided by 3. Therefore, I know that my slope m is equal to 2. So now we're done with finding the slope. Okay, now we have to find the y-intercept. And the step 1 to finding the y-intercept is substituting the values of a single point in for x and y, and then slope for m. So what it means by that is we are already given these 2 points, over here, 1 and 3 and 4 and 9, and we can actually use any one of them as x or y, x and y. And then we just found the m is equal to 2. So what we're gonna do is we just have to substitute in these values into this equation. So what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna choose the first point because that's just because it doesn't matter. You can choose 4, 9 if you want to. Then I'm just gonna substitute in. My x value then is going to be 1, and my y value is going to be 3. So what am I gonna do? And I'm just gonna simply replace y with the 3 and x with the 1. So then y is equal to 3. And then my m, remember, is I just found out that it's 2, so I'm just going to replace m with a 2. And then x is equal to 1, so plus b. Then what do I have? I have 3 equals 2 times 1 plus b. And what we're going to do is we're going to simplify both sides of the equation. So on the left side, we have 3. And on the right side, I have 2 times 1, which is 2, and then plus b. And then next thing is we have to solve for b. And how do I solve for b? Over here, I have 2 over here, so I just have to subtract 2 from both sides. And what do I get? I'm only left with b on the right side, and then 3 minus 2 is 1, so my b value is 1. So now I know that the slope, my equation is going to look like y is equal to mx plus b. And I found the m and the b. So my last step is just to simply replace my m and b with 2 and 1. So what is it going to look like? Y is equal to 2x plus 1. Now, let's try to do one more example. So again, same thing. If you choose to graph the point to help you visualize it easier to find the slope, go ahead. For this one, I'm going to use the slope formula of x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to say that this is going to be my x1, y1, x2, and y2. Then what is going to happen? So the first step was to identify the x1, y1, x2, and y2 from values of the given point. So I'm just going to say these are my points. So, and I'm just going to replace these points into my formula here. Then what do I get? My y2 is negative 2. And my y1, so y2 minus, so y2 is negative 2. And then minus y1, which is 1. Over my x2 is negative 4 minus 1. And what is that going to equal to? And I just have to simplify this. So then I get minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3 over minus 4 minus 1, which is minus 5. And minus gets cancelled, so I'm just left with 3 over 5. So I know that my m is equal to 3 over 5. Next, we have to find the y-intercept. And again, we do that by substituting or given x and y values. We can choose any one, it doesn't matter. And the m that we have found, so that we're just left with the b. So I'm just going to choose the first point, my x and y. So my point xy is going to be equal to 0, 1. So I just simply replace my y, m, and x with the values that I found. Then I'm just going to replace 1. So my y is 1, m is 3 over 5. My x value is 0 plus b. And next step is simplify both sides of the equation. So I'm just going to simplify that. So on my left side, I'm still left with a 1. And 3 over 5 times 0 is just equal to 0 plus b. Then I know that b is equal to 1. So we have just solved for b, so b is equal to 1. And last step is just to put it together. To put it into the slope-intercept form, y is equal to mx plus b. So y is equal to mx plus b, and my m is 3 over 5, as you found over here, which is equal to 3 over 5, plus b, which is 1. 3 over 5, x plus 1. That is everything for today's lesson. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.